Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Talk to me about your country's priorities as you hold the presidency of the UN Security Council and what you're hoping to accomplish.
As far as DRC is concerned, our priority are built on two pillars. One being peace and security, and the other one being the conflict resolution and prevention. So on the peace of security, what we want to do is to make sure that questions like the reform of peace and security structure, we do contribute to that. This is in one hand. And we want also to deal with issue related to, when you talk about peace and justice, you have also to think about the justice itself. You don't just build peace, but you need justice to make sure that finally the conflict is resolved. That's why we want also to tackle the issue related to the what we call transitional justice. So this is in one hand. And when it comes to conflict resolution, we want to deal with the issue of, when you have a lot of armed groups on the ground, you need to work on the DDR process. And we want to work on the DDR process as well. But also, we want to tackle the issue of, mineral resources.
Are there any security situations or conflicts on the African continent that deserve more international attention? And also, how can the UN better support African led solutions?
It's not just one conflict in Africa. There's a lot. When you look at the Central African region, you have the Sudan, you have a conflict in South Sudan, you have a conflict in CAR, in DRC, and the Western African, the Sahel region, there's a lot of conflicts. All of them, those conflicts need the attention of international community. But the African-led solution is a good concept, but it still need the support of international community. We have come to the Security Council now, it's 6 months. When you look at the conflicts in Africa, South Sudan, DRC, CAR, and the Sahel region, which conflict have we solved so far? Even not one. But we are still talking and talking. So definitely there's more conflict than solutions, and we need solution.
Ambassador, if you can give us an update on the Ebola outbreak situation in your country and coordinating with the WHO, how that has gone.
This is not the first outbreak of Ebola in DRC. It's the 17th. So we have experience of dealing with these issues. What I say is that there's an exaggeration in the international realm, where the way the Ebola situation is conducted. Tedros, the DG of WHO, was in Bunia. He even shake hand with the people who has been healed from Ebola. So we have experience to deal with this issue.
That's an interesting statement because
Yeah.
outside,
From outside, even we Congolese, we are impressed to see the way the international media are talking about Ebola in Congo. It's not like that on the ground. It's totally different.
I understand China sent a medical team to help assist.
Yes, they did, because we have a good cooperation with China, as you know. It's one of our main partners.
Can you elaborate on DRC China ties?
DRC China ties last from Mobutu regime. Mobutu traveled in China. I don't know the year exactly, but Mao Zedong was leading China at that time. Long time ago, we were little kids, and so we came to know China for a long time, and the ties has been built since that time until now, and we have a very good cooperation with China for the time being.
The DRC has long been a strong advocate for UN Security Council reform. Reform is a word we've been hearing about a lot here at the United Nations. What would a more representative council look like in your view?
We have Inzolini process, which is the African concept of Security Council reform. What we want is we want at least to correct the injustice of history, at least two permanent members from African side, and also two more as non-permanent to make sure that there is a balance. This is what we want. As far as the veto is concerned, if veto remains, then we need to have veto as well. This is our concept of a reform of Security Council, and it's very important. We need that.
Ambassador, how would you assess Africa's progress toward the Sustainable Development Goals, and where is the greatest need for action?
The greatest need for action is to make sure that we have a plan as Africa, what we call Agenda 1963, 2063. We want this agenda to be implemented because actually we have had a lot of concept of sustainable development. We had a couple of agendas. Uh, one of them being what we call silent the guns. We were supposed to silence the gun because actually, if there is no stability in Africa, there is no security, then we cannot talk about development. It's impossible. Yeah, you cannot develop a country where you are fighting and where there's a lot of war.
As an ambassador of your country and a representative here, a voice for Africa within the United Nations, what message would you like the international community to hear about the continent's future and role in global governance?
What we want is to make sure that Africa is really independent. We have a political independence, but we need economic independence as well. Those who are behind the wars and conflicts in Africa, they have to release Africa. Then Africa will build its own development.
Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Joe.